A Hexcellent Chance to Fall in Love by Anne Rose. This one is fun. This is like a fun supernatural romance. It's more romance than it is supernatural fantasy, but I like that. I like that mix. It's sort of a fun, cozy, Halloweeny romance read. So the gimmick of this, the premise, maybe gimmick has a bad connotation, but the gimmick is really fun, and I like it, and so I'm using that word in a good way, and I think it carries it. That also sounds bad. Like the rest of the book is bad, and then it's only uplifted by this good premise. Not true. Totally. I do think there's like parts of this that are weaker or like not perfect, but you're having so much fun in general that you can kind of excuse some of the worst parts of this. What I considered the worst parts of this, they weren't bad. They were just like different or what I expected. I think this book's kind of long. I think it goes on like a lot of little detailed side things. There's sort of like a lot going on. There's more than I expected. Um, in the beginning, I really like the sort of simplicity. We take this idea and we really run with it, and I really respect that because it's really like low key, like kind of stupid, but stupid in a fun way. So we have two main characters. One of them is Pepper White, and she is cursed to work at this Halloween store. It's basically Spirit Halloween, except it's not called Spirit Halloween, it's called Dead of Night, which is a funny name because the curse happens to her in the dead of night. Basically, it's one of those pop up Halloween stores that only exists for like 2 months out of the year, and then it disappears until the next year. And basically, whoever has the keys, this special amulet, this haunted amulet, with the keys, whatever. Whoever has the keys to the store on midnight at November 2nd, which is the last day the store is opened, they are now bound to the store. They are called the keeper of the store. They work here, and also they don't exist in the real world. Kind of all of the memories of them from everyone who has ever known them are completely wiped. There's basically no trace of them, and they also don't exist unless the store exists. So for 10 months out of the year, they're just not in existence. They just pop up every year, and every year it's Halloween again, and no one knows who they are. So even though she's been working at the store for 5 years, and she's worked with a lot of the same people who come back seasonally to work there, just regular employees who are not cursed, but they don't remember her, and so every year she's new in town, and she's new to these people. She does like this job. She loves Halloween. She grew up in this town. She likes this town. And she likes most of the people she works with, but obviously she can't hold any kind of relationship, personal, professional, romantic. Even her family doesn't know her. So like we have a problem, you know. This job does come with its perks. So she gets a company car, which is a hearse, because of course it is. She gets a free apartment, and she can't die. I don't think she can be injured or hurt. We don't see that in the book. There's no violence, really. She's basically immortal. She's an immortal store manager, who, in theory, will exist forever and ever. And I'm thinking, like, what if, like, the nuclear apocalypse happens and life on Earth is eradicated? Would this Halloween store still pop up? Because whoever owns it, like, owns the whole, like, corporation. This is a chain store. And I think she's just in charge of this. Which begs the question, are there other storekeepers? Probably. But clearly some kind of supernatural entity, like, creates the store. And so, like, would the store continue to exist in, like, 5,000 years if the Earth is a nuclear wasteland and she'd just be, like, hanging out in the store alone, still alive and immortal, but, like, she can't do anything because the Earth is a wasteland and there's no one around, and she can't just, like, go out to the town and, you know, enjoy her local food spots and, you know, kind of all the town festivities. Anyway, I'm overthinking it. The book isn't interested in those things, but very fun premise. Clearly, love that. It's a great start, and it's such a silly little idea that, like, what if you were bound to Spirit Halloween and you only existed when Spirit Halloween existed? Fun. I love it when an author just has a dumb little idea and just runs with it and writes a whole book about it. Props to that. Kudos. But anyway, this is a dual point of view novel. Our second character is named Christina. She is a teacher, a theater teacher at the local high school, but it is also her first teaching gig. She's not, like, great at it. One of her main responsibilities as the drama teacher is this big haunted house. I guess this town has one haunted house, and it's on, like, the school property, They have like a giant, like whole acre, giant haunted house that this town runs every year. This is the haunted house in town. Everyone's looking forward to it. There's so much pressure. She cannot mess up this haunted house. This town will be so disappointed in her. She's building it with her kids, but she's kind of struggling because she's got all this pressure. She's a new teacher. She also like doesn't like Halloween. She's not that fond of the Halloween holiday. But so she ends up in the Halloween store where Pepper works. And Pepper's, an employee of the year of the eternity, employee of the eternity, and she helps Christina do all of these things for this haunted house. And because Pepper, before she was the storekeeper, she actually used to work at the school as the drama teacher, and she ran the haunted house every year, and she loved it, and she's great at it, and she kind of misses it. And so she bonds with Christina. They start to fall for each other. And also she really likes doing this job, and she misses being with the kids and running this haunted house. And so she just goes with Christina. They go on dates to set all this up. Christina's new in town, and Pepper is new in town, so everyone thinks. And so they go to all the good local spots because they're trying the food, and everything. But really, Pepper knows everything about this town, and so she's like showing Christina all the great local spots. So they have this interesting dynamic where no one knows either of them, and they're both new, and they bond over that. But also, Pepper has all of this experiences and is showing Christina the ropes and dragging her along in this life that she really, really likes, and like showing her how great it can be. And that's most of the novel. I guess I won't get caught up in too much other plot stuff, because again, there's a bunch of little things that keep happening. There's stuff with her families. Christina's got like a big family and like drama with her sisters. But obviously the main plot is Christina and Pepper fall in love. But at the end of Halloween, on November, Pepper's gonna disappear from existence for 10 months, and Christina's not going to remember her at all. And so she has to either find someone to take the amulet, but she doesn't want to trick anyone. She was tricked into it, so she didn't choose this job. And she doesn't want to take away that choice from someone else, so she either has to find someone to give this amulet to or break the curse somehow. And they don't know how to do that. And for most of the book, Christina has no idea that this woman is haunted, because how do you bring that up? Eventually she does bring it up. Not to get into spoilers, but I mean, by premise, you have to know that at some point they have to fight the evil curse together, right? And there's parts of this plot that are both very predictable and also defied my expectations and go places I didn't expect. So we're introduced to a side character at one point who you're immediately like, oh, that person's getting the amulet. They're gonna be the next person to take this over. And then we don't hear of them for a while because they only exist for this one plot point. And then eventually they do get brought up with that plot point, and that is the plan. But the plan doesn't go super cleanly. It doesn't go the way you expect it to. There's another character who's a contender who I didn't really get this person's characterization. His name is Kev. He's the new guy at the store, and no one fucking likes him because he has all these ideas about how they should redo the shelving and like reorganize everything. And he's like, he'll like skip work to go do consultants with custom businesses on custom costumes that like could improve the store. And on one hand, you're like, this guy's just maybe autistic and is like actually cares about the store and like wants it to run a certain way and thinks the store could be improved, but no one else vibes with him because they're used to the old system and he's just like weird. But on the other hand, he's definitely intentionally written as like a dumbass who's like just fucking everything up, who doesn't care about the store because like he'll skip days, like he'll just not show up to work. And he says he's doing that because of he's doing other things. He's doing investigative research on behalf of the business, and like I think he is, but also it's just like he doesn't care. And like the book kind of, I don't know, it does these two things where he doesn't feel like a really concrete character. Like he's doing, I don't know, like his motivations and his actions like don't always line up. And like the book wants you to hate him. Like everyone in this book fucking hates this guy. Even Pepper, our main character. And at first, he's really a minor side character. I don't know why I'm talking so much about him. But he was the only character in this that I didn't like, or I thought was like bad characterization. So for most of the book, we only hear about him. People reference him, like, oh, the new guy's fucking restocking the shelves again, and he's fucked everything up. And in that perspective, I liked him. Because I'm like, he's just a little autistic. I don't think he's actually autistic. I don't think it says that, but it's like coded. It's like he really wants a more efficient organizational system about this like probably minimum wage job that he's like just been hired to. And he seems like a younger guy, so I'm like, he's got the spirit. He's got ideas. Maybe that system is more efficient and you guys are just stuck in your ways. Like maybe we should hear him out. Then we meet him later and he's just like a stoner loser who has no idea what's going on. And again, Christina ends up trying to trick him into taking this amulet and like oh, you can get a promotion. Like they love what you're doing over there at the store. And he's like, yeah, I'm so smart. And he sounds like a dumbass. And so the book like clearly wants you to hate him. But I didn't hate him the whole time. But then I did at the end and we actually meet him. But he just felt like a different person. Anyway, again, don't know why I'm talking about this minor side character so much. But anyway, the point is there's multiple, paths to this mystery and like the solution. Like how are we going to solve this? You don't exactly know how this is going to end. There's also the route of how do they break this curse, which they don't explore that much. You'd think like Pepper's been at this for 5 years and she's become sort of disillusioned with it. Like she doesn't hate it, but like she's kind of tired of it. She kind of wants human connection. She wants to go back to this town. She kind of does want out of this curse, which I get. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it would take more than 5 years for me. I feel like I would take this job to be immortal, and like you're unconscious for 10 months out of the year, but like I don't think she knows that. Like it's not like she's just like sitting in a dark empty void for 10 months with absolutely nothing to do. It's just like she blinks in and out of consciousness and like, oh, suddenly it's the next year. And I mean, that clearly has its drawbacks. She can't form human connections. All of the costumes become like themed with like the popular movies of the years, and she hasn't seen any of them, and she misses out on all these like pop culture references. She's behind on the times. That will only get more and more apparent as time goes on. But it would have taken me more than 5 years to become annoyed with this. I would take this job. I'd be the immortal shopkeeper. I'll take the amulet, Pepper. But she's been annoyed with this for a couple of years, and you'd think she would have done more research into how to, like, break the curse. Maybe you destroy the amulet that gets brought up, and, like, I don't think she's ever tried to destroy the amulet. Maybe she's scared. I don't know. Like, you could maybe poke holes in this. I mean, it's a fucking imaginary fantasy setup. Maybe she should have been doing more. But we also... We sort of get more of Christina's perspective of trying to break this curse than we do Pepper's, which is interesting. Whatever. Again, I don't think this was a perfect book, but I think it was fun, and so I don't care about the imperfections so much. But you could poke holes in parts of this if you really wanted to. Because this idea can get pretty complex. And there is even... I got inklings of a twist early on. And I'm like... They could do this with this. This is a possibility with this. And I thought that. And then I thought, that sounds really narratively complicated to write. I don't think this author's going to do all that. And then she did all that. They went there. I was not expecting them to actually go there. You do get hints of it. I won't spoil what it is. There are definitely a couple of hints of it throughout. And like, if I went back and reread this, I'd probably pick up on even more of them. Again, it did cross my mind. But, like, I didn't think she had the guts to go there. And I don't know how well it was pulled off. It's kind of a twist that you'd have to go back and reread to, like, really analyze how well it was pulled off. I think it works. I was surprised, but kind of pleasantly surprised, because I didn't think it would go there, but it did. So I kind of respect that. Kind of an intricate, complicated twist. But it was definitely interesting. It's definitely an interesting idea. And I think it was pulled off reasonably well, at least on first read. Maybe it's even better than I imagined. Like, if you do go through and reread this and it, like, really tightly links up, that's possible. I don't plan on rereading this anytime soon, but it is one that I enjoyed, and so, like, if I had to reread it, if you locked me in a room with this book, I would reread it, and then I would think about that, and I'd have a fun time doing that. And so I think this does have some rereadability value in that. Yeah, all in all, really fun book. The premise, I was really, really charmed by the premise, and therefore I liked everything that followed. Even though I do think this gets bogged down in details, there are, like, random little scenes and little interactions and side characters that aren't, like, that important. Like, you probably could have cut this down a bit. I don't know, maybe that's just a different book. Again, I didn't hate this as it was. I gave this 4 stars, and I really enjoyed it. And I kind of like spending time with these characters. So even if it is like long, it feels a little long. You get to spend more time with these people, and I liked them for the most part. They're not like my favorite characters of all time. I didn't think they were like totally super distinct. Oh, I did think Christina was kind of distinct in that she's very ADHD, but it doesn't say ADHD. She's not diagnosed with that. They don't talk about that at all. But her thoughts do like randomly jump from thing to thing. And like her whole thing is that she'll just start talking about some random subject, and Pepper will ask her, oh, like, oh, you're spaced out right now. What are you thinking about? And then she'll just say something completely random that they weren't talking about at all. And that is a little annoying. It's a little bit overused. It's kind of charming. Like the first couple times, it's like, oh, she's quirky. She overthinks. She's got a fast track mind. But it does sometimes just feel like it's there to be a little quirky. Or like, I don't know, maybe that's just like where the author's head was going. And they thought it would be funny to write that and just like fun and just say fuck it, whatever, random, LOLXD. It's not LOLXD humor, but it's just like ADHD brain. But that's like not addressed. No one's ever like, do you need like medication? Have you talked to a doctor about this? I guess it doesn't like harm her life. She's just like random. She just goes off on a tangent. It's a little much. But it's not like the worst thing in the entire world. But anyway, I did like these characters. I liked being with them. I liked thinking about them. I like this world, this fun little town. All of the shops are like pun names. Again, Dead of Night is one. I can't think of anything else. But like the coffee shop they go to, they get fucking nachos. It's not nachos, it's tachos. Tater tot nachos. Does sound good. I've never had that. But you know, it's a quirky little spooky small town cozy vibes. Cozy fantasy romance. It was good. I liked it.